Hello, everyone. My name is Monique Impagliazzo. I am stepping in today for the amazing Jen Page. Thanks for having me, Black Magic Collective. I'm here talking today with script supervisor Jennifer Carriere. Hopefully, I got that right,
You did.
Jennifer.
Yep.
Yes,
Nailed
excellent.
it. Yep.
I have a long last name, as we talked about, so I like to pronounce everyone's name correctly. And we were just also talking a little bit before the show started about the script supervisor and your role on set. Now, a lot of us as directors, I'm a director, writer, producer, we have our own ideas of what that role is. But I'm really interested to hear it from the expert,
Okay.
Jennifer, our script supervisor. So, Jennifer, if you could just, tell us a little bit more and educate us about your role and some of your responsibilities on set.
Sure. So I have my own definition for what a script supervisor actually is because I think that there's a lot of misunderstanding about what the role truly is. So it's kind of long, it's a little bit of a mouthful, but I say that a script supervisor is a mini director, mini producer, screenwriter representative, actor wingman, editor advocate, all rolled into one amazing film job. Okay, so we truly touch on all 5 of those disciplines. Okay, kind of tie things together. When I say we're a mini director, okay, that's part of that, 1/5 of my definition. It is because we have to think like a director. We have to stay a step ahead of the director, oftentimes, when it comes to making sure we are shooting every piece of the scene that needs to be shot in the way that they would like to have it when they're sitting down in post looking at it. Okay, so we need to be thinking about telling all the pieces of the story and having the shots that will cut together to make the scene dynamic and tell the story that the scene should tell. Okay, so that's one part. And of course, I'm always thinking about the context of the scene. Okay, so where we are, what our previous circumstances are, and where we're going. Okay, so in that sense, I feel like I'm thinking like a director.
Right.
We're mini producers in the sense that we have a shared interest with the producer in making sure we save time and ultimately their money by not shooting things incorrectly. Okay, so not missing anything that should be shot and not shooting something wrong that would need to be reshot or just thrown away. Okay, so we are doing this by communicating very effectively with our collaborators, with our other departments. That might mean, it might look like, for example, if we're picking up a scene, the look for which was established maybe 3 weeks ago, like the scene that precedes it was shot 3 weeks ago, and the scene that we're shooting today has an actor who wasn't available 3 weeks ago. So we have to match everything perfectly. I would probably send out a message to all of my creative department heads, props, makeup, hair, wardrobe, set dressing, whoever will figure into shooting the scene. I would do this the night before and say, here's all of our matching information. So let's, just sharing this with you, just to make sure that you guys feel good about the matching for tomorrow, something like that. Or we're doing this while shooting on set, staying ahead of, this afternoon's work, for example. Hey, Marcy, costumer, I just wanted to let you know, I heard that we're going to be pulling up a scene from tomorrow, so you might want to talk with the AD about that, but I was just in a conversation. I know that you guys have some costumes that are at the dry cleaners today, but you might just want to have a peek and talk to your costume supervisor or something, because it sounds like we're pulling up work because of weather or something like that.
Wow.
Okay. So,
wow. Yeah.
Okay. So far we've gotten through mini producer, mini director. Okay. So as far as being a screenwriter representative, oftentimes we don't get the benefit of having our screenwriter on set while we're actually shooting. So we need to the extent that we possibly can, do our best job of making sure the story is told as intended by them. Things can be misinterpreted very easily. Okay, so sometimes, for example, I, having broken down the script and thought about it so many different ways in pre-production, and having thought through the scenes that we're shooting today, I might catch in private director's rehearsal that we're missing a beat, or we're misinterpreting a beat. Or, in which case I would pull the director aside and say, the previous circumstances are these. My impression was that the character would be walking into the scene with this on their brains. Have I misinterpreted that? And they might say to me, I thought about that, but no, we're going to go do it this way. Or, gosh, thank you, good catch. I totally miss, something like
Right.
that. Like, we really, really are about making our director and our other departments for that matter look amazing. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, am I getting too
No,
long
this
into
is
this
great.
explanation? Okay.
This is great because I've heard so many times from other directors, my script supervisor have saved my life
Yeah.
today on so many different levels. And I'm like, really? How? And I want to know these ways.
Right.
And which leads me to another question
Okay.
because you are the eyes and the ears
Yes.
on set. I mean,
True.
all around. And thank you for what you do for all
We
of
love it. We
us.
love it. We just love
You
it.
know, you're there, you're up at camera, you're with the director, you're with first time directors when they come on set,
Oh yeah,
correct?
big time.
I have a question that what do you see as the script supervisor that as a first time director on set coming into, the set that the crew knows and they've been together, what makes a first time director stand out? What makes the network ask them back?
Preparation and time efficiency. Honestly, the network wants to know that they're going to get the episode shot in the amount of time that they have budgeted for the shoot. Okay,
Right.
so walking in over prepared, ready to lead, ready to communicate, also to rely on your fabulous crew. If we're talking about an episodic or something, and the crew is like a well-oiled machine, rely on those folks. They are there for you. Communicate effectively, and just absolutely have a plan to shoot efficiently and fully. And you won't find yourself caught, with 2 hours on the clock and way too much material to shoot with the time that we have. That's the worst thing, is running out of time. Time just evaporates on set
Yes. Yes,
without
it
a
does.
plan. So, movies are made in pre-production, TV episodes are made in pre-production. Pre-produce the heck out of whatever you're directing.
Prep, prep, prep.
Prep, prep, prep.
Another thing too, what I wanted to ask you is, a lot of times I think obviously you know the set, you know the crew, right? When a first time director steps on, what sometimes you wish that the director might have asked you during their time on set? Like if they would have came to me with X, I wish they would have asked me this. I could have helped them through this. Is there anything that you can think of or wish that they would have because you said relied on me? What could they relied on you more for and lean into you to make that unit whole?
Probably, personality questions. So how is this cast? Are they pretty competitive about who leaves their trailer last? What's the ego situation like? What are my department heads? Who's the most easy to gel with and who's a little bit more difficult? What do I need to be sensitive to when it comes to the personalities? Because communication and teamwork is so absolutely critical to having a successful shoot. So probably just about the personalities that I've had the privilege of working with ahead of time, and that I can help them navigate how best to communicate with them.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely helpful. So I will be heading right to my script supervisor.
Right.
This is the goal here for me too, is to
Good.
TV. And what are some maybe bad habits that the director has when they step on set for the first time?
I don't. Okay. I hope this doesn't come across in any kind of way, but I would say avoid having an ego.
Gotcha.
I would avoid it. I would really, really be ready to be extremely respectful and have fun with and really use and lean on your departments and your cast and crew. It's not all about the director. It really is a group endeavor, and it's just best for everyone if everybody is happy to be there and respectful. So yeah.
And what could we do as directors to make your job easier?
Shot lists are wonderful. Storyboards are even better if we can
Yes.
get them. So yeah, sometimes we shoot exactly according to the storyboards, and it's so incredibly organized, and we can just you can literally see you're checking off just truly accomplishing the shoot, and it feels very satisfying, and it makes us feel very in control when we have a shot list and storyboard, so we can truly track our progress and know if we're falling behind, like, in an instant. So that's great to have that type of preparation done.
Yeah, the more information, the better. I always hear that too from other crew members, so that is great information for
I,
all of us to know.
I
So
tell the
thank you.
script supervisors that I train, it's like, don't expect a shot list. And, if you get storyboards, that's a dream come true, especially in the beginning of your career, if you're on something low budget. But don't expect them. Know how to look at a scene, look at the master camera angle, and see all of the shots. So that's one of the things that I train people, like, we really, really drive that home, being able to see every shot, so that when you're shooting directionally, okay, which we always are to save time,
Right.
that there's no possibility that a director will turn to me at the end of the day and say, oh my gosh, we never got that close up on the little boy when we were looking in the other direction. We tore all that down and we're looking the other way and the child's wrapped.
Right,
So it's just, we
right.
never, never, never want to have a director turn to us and say that. So we need to be able to just see all the shots, having seen the full rehearsal and master camera angle.
So interesting. Your job, it's endless basically on set. And, I want to know too, what are some of the things that you love most about being a script supervisor?
I love, love, love working with actors and directors. I really do. It's my favorite. My favorite rehearsal of the day is that very first private director's rehearsal. So it's like both the calm before the chaos. The director, myself, the AD, the DP, and the actors will step into this sacred rehearsal. It's the only time I don't feel rushed. It's the only time you can hear a pin drop on set. Everyone's like waiting quietly outside, just on their phones, and getting snacks and so forth, waiting for the
Right.
day to truly start for them, the rest of the crew, that is. And we're in there, figuring out how to tell the story, and practicing, trying different blocking ideas and trying different, conceiving of different shots and so forth. And yeah, that's one of my favorite things. So working with directors and actors, especially when I have them to myself, in that first private director's rehearsal.
Nice. I mean, that's interesting too. I've never directed TV before, so knowing that you even have that is amazing. And
Yeah.
the role of script supervisor, and I know that you had mentioned that you train others and you encourage them, to go out and script supervise. And also too, I just also want to open up to the audience. If anyone has any questions for Jennifer, please put it in the comments. It's not just about me and all of my questions. So please feel free. But I do have another question for you, Jennifer. If
Okay.
if someone is interested in becoming a script supervisor on set, where do you suggest maybe they start? Or do you have any advice for those out there who think, or who have been a script supervisor maybe on like smaller jobs and really want to break their way into either, TV, scripted TV, features?
Yeah.
What are some of your suggestions that you tell folks?
So I do think that you need to invest in a dynamite method. Okay. I really do. And then you just need to go out before you feel ready and start doing shorts, doing indies, doing low budget, and stepping up your abilities as you go. So I'm a big believer in just bias to action. Just get out there and start. For my very first short film, I AD'd and script supervised a 48-hour film fest short. Okay. And then I did another with a local actor in New Orleans who funded her own project. And that led to my first paid gig. So 2 shorts, and then boom, I started getting paid. So I would say, like, even if you don't feel completely ready, just get out there and start working on shorts and make your mistakes, get them out of the way in a low stakes environment,
Right.
on a short. It's a great place to learn, and experience is one of the best teachers. So learn the theory, learn a great method, learn an actionable, effective method, and just start.
Excellent. And do script supervisors use a specific program? Because I know obviously you turn in script notes every single day, correct?
We do. Oh yeah.
There's tons of script notes. I mean, I think you're all geniuses basically on set. I do. I will say this over and over again. I do. I know that you have the hardest job on set because you are watching every little. And and we actually have a comment here from Lynette Jones. Jennifer, thank you for this. I had a script supervisor on my last film, and he was a waste. And he was a
A
waste of
waste.
time. After listening to you, I'm willing to get the full benefit of a script supervisor.
Oh, a script supervisor will save your life, Lynette, a qualified one. So here's, unfortunately, I have heard this same type of feedback from people before, that there either aren't any script supervisors available at all, or they're not as strong as they could be. Okay, so that is honestly because I'm also a producer and I need to find script supervisors for second units, or when we're producing 2 shows at one time. It really is difficult. It's every time I hear that I need to find someone, it's like, there goes 16 hours of my life, like trying to track down someone, and usually it's like puzzle piecing a few people together, just to make sure that the position is filled for the full shoot. So I've heard this feedback. I did, I am training people because I'm trying to put people in the marketplace who are truly qualified and dynamite right out of the gate.
Right.
So yeah, Lynette, I would definitely encourage you to, if you want to message me on Instagram or something, I have a whole bunch of people I've trained who are dynamite, who are, getting promoted to producer and getting hired to write and direct their own things with the production company, like crazy, crazy results. So you might want to message me privately and I can get you someone. But yeah, it's really, really important to collaborate, and this applies to all crew positions. Collaborate with people who are qualified and who have passion and who are going to work hard for you.
Absolutely. And then Lynette also says, I've directed several films now, and I was wondering how I can get direct something bigger. What's maybe your opinion on that, Jennifer?
Just keep volume, 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 and you will step your way up. I'm absolutely certain. So don't wait for the perfect project. Just, again, bias to action, direct absolutely as much as you can. I'm at script supervisor CEO for IG, Lynette.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Jennifer, you're so good on the comments too. We're like,
Oh, sorry. Now I'm just watching as we go. Yeah.
me and you. And then I can only see that as a Facebook user. I wouldn't have thought that the scripty would be included in the rehearsal, but
Mhm.
now that makes total sense. Are day of rehearsals typical on
Oh,
TV shows?
big
How
time.
often is it run and gun and have no rehearsal? That's a really good question. Thank you.
When we get into a run and gun situation, it's always a shame to skip rehearsal. Rehearsal really does save the day. To just shoot on the fly is a terrible idea. Even if you need to take an extra 10 minutes to rough out how you're going to, shoot the scene, I would advise you to do that because it will save you time on the back end. Running and gunning is not ideal. But yeah, traditionally we rehearse every scene and we block it and we figure out what the shooting plan is before we shoot every scene, both in TV and film. That's the dream. I mean, sometimes, again, you might have, 10 minutes till the sun sets and a 7-person, scene that we have to get because this is the only time we're at that location. And when the sun sets, it's over. Then we just have to do some kind of emergency, type of shoot just to get something. But that, it sounds like you're setting yourself up for a reshoot,
Right, right. Oh, we have more. Oh, this is Mara. Hi, Mara. Mara's a good friend of mine. Sorry, let me start over. What things have you seen that separates a great, effective director from a not so great one? Great question,
That
Mara.
is a great question. I cannot stress enough the preparation. Again, movies are made in pre-production, so have a plan for shooting every scene and covering them fully. Visualize the shots ahead of time. Make a shot list or storyboards. Be disciplined on set with your time and focus on realizing the plan that you made in prep. I'm a big believer in going over tomorrow's work the night before and getting in the zone for an hour. I personally do this as a script supervisor and producer, get in the zone for a good hour with the material, just thinking through all the scenarios. I know we have a 75% chance of rain today, but this location has to get shot. So what do we do if and when? I'm just thinking about contingencies. And, it's all about getting the results, getting the scenes shot the way we want them shot in the time that we have. So yeah, it's hugely important to prepare yourself mentally, prepare literally in pre-production, and then stay calm and focused on set. Be respectful of everyone else on set. You cannot have a temper. You cannot have, short patience. You just simply cannot. So that's a big one that separates an effective director from a not so great one. And your preparation, respect, teamwork.
Such a great question. I
It
love
is.
it.
I
You
hope I
know,
answered it fully. And if not, if there's a follow-up, please let me know. So.
yeah, please let us know, Mara, if anyone else has. These are all great questions, keep them coming. And preparation, I have a lot of also friends who work in the art department,
Ah,
and I like to work with a storyboard art. My friend who's a storyboard artist, she's a production designer, Bernadette
nice.
Stewart. She's an artist, she's a production designer. She can do it all, build,
Okay.
builds, and then a draw, build, everything. So her and I go through a lot of my shots together,
Right.
and she's like, sometimes I wish I had this information when I'm on set. So working with you, like, and me working with her, knowing that she needs this information, and the more what you're saying that I'm listening to is the more information everyone on set has, the more effective of a day that you're going to have, and how they can help your vision come to life. Right, Jennifer? Is that
Absolutely. No, absolutely. The director cannot be, I mean, it's not a one person show. It's a team effort. Your script supervisor is going to save your behind.
yeah,
I mean, if I understand that there was someone here who worked with someone who was not qualified to script supervise. They were probably just took the role without really knowing the job. But when you have a qualified script supervisor in your corner, they will save you time. They will save you, you know, misinterpreting the story. They truly just will save you. It's a set superhero position. So
absolutely. Jennifer, as a script supervisor, what are maybe some of the differences that you see for TV versus film?
mm,
Are there differences when working with directors in both mediums? And maybe if you, I don't know if you ever worked in other mediums as well too that you could speak of, but are there differences, and what do you see,
yeah.
and how do we prep to help
Right.
you?
So generally speaking, when it comes to TV, you have higher page counts per day. So
Mm,
you have less time. There's more to shoot in less time. Okay. So usually that's just what the schedule demands. On feature films, you might be looking at 3 or 4 pages a day if it's a big budget. If it's an indie, however, or a low budget, and you've got 12 pages, scheduled a day, well, that's going to be a very different kind of day. That's going to be shoot it very quickly and efficiently, and there's simply no time to lose. So personally, I like working really fast. I
yeah,
like being very, very busy. I just, if I'm not busy on set, I'll find something to busy myself with. So while I have enjoyed shooting feature films a ton, I still prefer to choose television because I like the faster pace.
gotcha.
So,
That's so great to know,
mhm.
the differences,
Yeah.
especially that you see. And we also have another question here. I don't know how often TV goes into OT, but when you just had a 13, 14-hour day, would you still feel comfortable meeting with the director and above the liners about the next day's shoot? That's a good question too.
Yeah, and so we don't necessarily have, meetings after the shoot day for tomorrow's work. I was saying it's a good idea to prepare yourself the
Mm,
night before, look at tomorrow's work, think it through, and then in the morning, I like to have a good hour just to think through the day. But I've had many, many, late nights after 13, 14-hour days. And it's just part of the process. Long hours just kind of come with the territory.
mhm.
I don't believe in dangerously long hours. And, nobody wants that. And it's better. I would love if we did French hours, frankly, where it's like a 10-hour day and
Right.
there's no lunch. It's just a walking lunch because we're eating all day long anyway. It's like an
True.
endless buffet all day long. I don't like to take an hour and a half break. And when I say hour and a half, it's like it's a half hour deducted, but moving the whole crew and cast, to wherever catering is and coming back and then losing the momentum. Um, I would rather just eat and work and be done in 10 hours, but that's not the way it is in the US. And yeah, we oftentimes do run into 12+ hour days. But yeah, we do what we have to do. If a meeting needs to happen, it needs to happen.
Excellent. Good to know. Good to know. We have another one from Layla O'Shea. Can't stress how true the prep work advice is. Had an amazing AD who reviewed my shot list for a 4-day shoot and he brought me back to reality on what was actually achievable. Had a
Right.
great script supervisor as well. Thank you so much,
Fabulous.
Layla. That's so good
Yeah.
to know.
That's awesome. Yeah. And giving credit where credit's due. The AD and the script supervisor, yeah, they will save you.
Right, right. And Jennifer, we only have a few minutes left,
Darn it.
but I know it goes
Way
by
to
so
go.
fast. I can literally talk to you all day, and I'm sure everyone else can too. We have so many questions. But if we do have any more questions once we end here, where can we all find you on social media?
Yep. So at Script Supervisor CEO is my IG handle. The best way to reach me is through my website, though, which is scriptsupervisorceo.com. That's
Excellent.
so I don't always keep up with private messages on IG. I'm just being completely honest. But I'm all over that website every single day because I train so many people through that site. So scriptsupervisorceo.com. And I do have some free script supervisor training available there as well.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We have one little last question. Maybe we can sneak it in. To make shooting efficient, do you schedule scenes with extras first, or is that a consideration? Are you asking a
Certainly,
question?
background actors are a major consideration when it comes to scheduling. Absolutely. Like imagine if we had a graduation scene or something like that, and we had to get hundreds upon hundreds of background actors to just be, in this, in the audience. That would take some time, and it is both location dependent and background actor availability dependent. So usually background casting directors can pull together background with very, very little time. I've seen them work miracles over and over, background casting agencies, but
They do.
certainly location and cast availability. So in this case, background cast availabilities, those are factors.
Excellent. Thanks, Lilith. That was a great question too about extras, and I'm sure you deal a lot with those as well,
We
Jennifer.
do, but we don't necessarily shoot them first. It's
Gotcha.
truly it has much more to do with what else is happening in the production schedule and the location availability.
Excellent. Well, this has been amazing.
I can't believe it's over. Oh my
I
gosh.
know how, like this. We were talking yesterday. I'm like, I know this is going to go by so fast. We had so
It
many
sure did.
amazing questions. You are a wealth of knowledge
Oh my gosh.
and
Well,
definitely someone who I want to have sitting next to me.
I am doing a free live workshop this Saturday at noon Eastern. So that if you go to at Script Supervisor CEO on IG, you can register because the link is in my bio. So that's one way that you can get free training this Saturday.
Excellent. So everybody, you can go there, take a shot, go see Jennifer. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for
My
all your expertise.
pleasure.
Everyone's saying thank you. They're very sweet. And this has been a blast. Thank you so much, Black Magic Collective. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Harleen, for having us here and making this happen. And everybody go out and direct and
Yeah.
shoot
I'm
your
going to tell
film.
Lucky Goldberg, we're going to get into your question this Saturday. When do you decide to overlook a mistake? That's a great question. We don't have time for it today, but we are getting into that Saturday in the
I
workshop.
love it.
Famously popular question. Okay.
Yes, Lucky, go and see Jennifer on Saturday for sure. Well, thank you again.
Thank you,
Thank
Monique.
you
Nice
for
to talk to
everyone.
you.
Have a great afternoon. And yeah, make sure you go make that movie or shoot that TV show.
Action, 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 guys.
That's right. Talk to you soon.
Okay.